Welcome back to the Backwoods Gourmet. Everybody's been after me since the very first video 3 years ago when I gave you some of the basics of smoking sausage. We never really told you how to make it. So in today's episodes we're going to go through all the steps to make homemade venison smoked summer sausage. And we're going to show you a few of the things you're really going to need to do this first step, which you need plenty of time and kind of plan it out, because this really needs to set for at least 24 hours up to 3 days in the cure ingredient before you put it in the casing. So that's what we're going to show you how to do today. And here's a few things you're going to have to do this properly. Hey, you're going to have a scale. You need to be able to weigh all your meat out so that you know how much cure agent to put in it, because you can overdo the cure on it and that makes it real dry. So scale, you need just a little digital scale. We got that here. You're going to need obviously some meat. We got some ground venison here. Nice pack of that. And since we didn't have quite enough of that, we're just going to use some regular ground chuck in there to put that out. Over here we got 2 bags from the stave from trimming from briskets, and then we just ground that. So we got quite a bit of that. We're about a little more than 50-50 on the lean to fat content on this, and then this is going to be really lean, especially the deer meat. So we're shooting for somewhere, around a 50-50 fat to lean. You can go leaner than that, but it is kind of dry. Don't have as much flavor. So we're going to try to make it the best we can. Then you're going to need just some basic spice ingredients. Just some regular salt. We got some white sugar. We got a can of beer. We got some whole mustard seed, chipotle pepper, garlic powder, and with some fresh ground black pepper. And most importantly, we have the cure ingredient, and this is sodium nitrate. Really, it's made for curing meat. This one's from Lamb Cure. It's real inexpensive. You can buy a whole bag of this. Lasts a long time, and it's about 1/4 teaspoon per pound of meat for this. So that's one reason why we know we got to have a scale, or at least mark packages to say exactly how much weight's in it, so that we can get this ingredient at the right ratio. And once we mix this cure up, we're going to use 1 tablespoon per pound in the mix, maybe a little more depending on how much more spice you got. But the cure itself, that's the salt, sugar, and lemon cure, that's going to be 5 tablespoons for 5 pounds of meat, or 1 tablespoon per pound. In the middle of the day we're making venison summer sausage, which has been an American staple for hundreds of years probably, especially in states that do a lot of hunting, have a lot of deer, so forth. And it's a great way to preserve your hunt for for months and months and months to come. We're just going to get our meat up here. We'll turn our scale on. Just going to lay them up there. You don't have to be exact. That's 5 pounds exactly. We know that. That's a little over 3 pounds, so that's 8 pounds. And there's our deer. That's close to 3 pounds. We're up to 11. And this is a little under 2.5 pounds, 11. So that's 13.5 pounds of meat that we have. Alright, so at this point, just need to get in there and try to break all these down and mix them all together. Hands probably work the best for doing this, but we just want to get it all blended up. Alright, we reset here, cleaned up a little bit, and now we're going to make the cure. So we know we need 1 tablespoon of cure per pound, so we have 13.5 pounds. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a double batch here for 5 pounds, since I have the measurements for all that. So first thing you need for 5 pounds is the cure. Now what we do on that. Some people might ask, why do you do this? Well, I guess the first reason is it's fun. I really enjoy it. I enjoy cooking. Enjoyed coming up with new recipes. I enjoy going back and like we've done before, find out how people used to do it in the old days, and the reason why they did cured and smoked meats is because that's the only way they had to preserve them. If they killed a hog or killed a deer or whatever, there was no refrigeration back them days. That's a recent invention. So they had to have some way to preserve the meat so they could eat. And again, that's one of them lost skills that hadn't been handed down. We've been trying to show people how to do, and I hope that some people benefit from what we're trying to teach them.
I'm just gonna sprinkle this over the top of our meat mixture, about halfway in. Again, we'll turn it over a little bit, and we'll sprinkle some more on there. And just mix it up pretty good to get it kind of evenly incorporated. Start doing this job, which is going to break down the protein and cause it to get tacky and sticky, or it'll hold together as sausage. Otherwise you just have ground meat. Alrighty, that's what it looks like there. What we're going to do to help this go through the grinder a little better, instead of adding water, I'm going to add a little bit of beer to it, and that'll help dissolve the salt, the sugar, help it all blend together. Plus it makes it slide through the chute of the grinder much easier. A bit more on, and hopefully add a little bit of flavor. Nice cool day today. I would recommend doing this on a nice cool day, so you can work outside more, unless you got a huge kitchen. But cool weather is definitely a plus for doing this outside. Keeps your meat
What we're going to do is go ahead and run everything back through the grinder one more time. Get it all nice and good. The grinder here. This one here is a number 5 limb grinder I've had for 3 years now. No problems with it. Still runs great. And is really quick. So if you're going to do any amount of sausage making, I would highly recommend getting a good grinder. This one was a Christmas gift a few years back, and I really love it. So I highly recommend it. It doesn't have to be a limb, but at least like a number 5 or larger grinder. Alright, so we're completed with this particular step, and I wish you guys could smell it. It smells awesome. So we're going to let these guys go and rest in the refrigerator out here for at least 24 hours. We might let it go longer. So you can cure it up about 3 days. So we'll see how it goes, and put it in there. We'll see you back whenever the cure is ready. We'll show you the rest of the steps. Alright, it's 8 a.m. the next day. We're going to get ready to stuff these. Here's what you need. First you need some casings. We have some limb, mahogany, large casings. We already have some of those soaking over there. Directions say to soak them for a few minutes in warm water. You also need some hog ring pliers and hog rings. Large spoon. We got some tie wire. We have our sausage stuffer set up. You can also use your grinder if you have the stuffer attachment for your grinder. This is just a lot faster. Alright, and obviously we need the meat. So we'll look at after. Alright, we already got our loaded up here. So all we got to do now is just like stuffing any other sausage. We're going to take our casing, open it up, thread it all the way up on there. These are large casings. These are 2.5 pound casings. We're not going to fill them up all the way for the simple fact that we got to be able to fit them in our smoker. So we're not going to use the entire length of these. So we're just going to sheet it in there pretty tight. Just hold a little pressure back. And we want to make these about 12 inches long. That's about the length that we can get on our smoker. Or it's much easier if you have 2 people doing this. So that's pretty good there. About 12 inches long. Nice tight roll. Go ahead and roll that up. Nice and tight on the end. In this case, I'm going to clamp a tie wire with my hog ring because I want to be able to turn these guys, flip them over in the smoker so they're hotter on one end than the other. Wooden box. You could do it with a variety of different other kind of smokers. As a last resort, you could do it in the oven. I would probably, the finished product is not going to be as good in the oven. But if that's all you got, then it's better to do it in the oven than not do it at all. Here's how we set this up. We just took our grill grate from the Weber and put it between these 2 things here, so it's about the same length as the sausages. Stuck them up through there, and we put the twist ties on the grate. So we're going to do them upside down first until they start to cook a little, and we'll go in 5 hours this way, and we'll lift the whole rack off with the sausages and turn them around the other way and use the bamboo skewers like we got the little baby one hanging there. Okay, so you can see how those nestle themselves right down in the curve of the water pan there. We also have one of our temperature gauges in the center there, and then our gauge for DigiQ is down about midways, so we can control the heat right there in the center. Okay, we're starting up the smoker using the minion method. This is going to cook 200 degrees for 8 hours. We're going to put these on there cold. Just really can't handle that rack and all that after it's warmed up, and fiddle around over the fire. So we're just going to go ahead and put them right on there. We only got a few coals going there now, so they'll be fine. We've tricked out the Weber here a little bit. We have a little electronic control on it now, so we can maintain the heat on it, and that's just basically so you can kind of set it and forget it. We've been doing competition barbecue, and we got this unit to do that with. This is our Party-Q DigiQ, made by Barbecue Guru, specifically made for these type of smokers and the green eggs. All we have to do right now is displaying the internal temperature 85. We're going to dial this in to 200 degrees. Okay, it's up to the probe going up to the center there. So we're also going to hook up our backup thermometer here. I'll just turn it on, and we made some nice mounts there for this, and that'll also give us an accurate reading of our internal temp there. Alright, now we just want to make sure that this top vent's all the way open, and That unit will bring it right up, and we'll just check on it a little bit. It should be good in there. 4 hours, and then we're going to turn them over. 4 or 5 hours, and we'll flip them. Everyone enjoyed this episode of the Backwoods Gourmet. Please subscribe to our channel if you like it. Please like us on the page there, and like I said, subscribe and share with all your friends. We appreciate everybody that comes and watches us and follows us. So until the next episode, y'all have a great one.